Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Hey, four name girl, what's up? How's it going? How's it going? Um, yeah, so let me plug this into the charger. Hey, Nick! Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Remember, guys, do not overshare. Never overshare this show, but share it one time. Pick a good spot and share it once. Do never risk your social media for my benefit. Never, never, never. It's not worth it to me, guys. It's just not worth it to me. Um, yeah, I'd like to have more people hear my voice. I'd like to get this out there, absolutely, but not at the expense of y'all's ability to socialize with your friends and your families. And that makes social media a monster. It makes them horrific monsters for limiting your ability to communicate with your friends because you're doing exactly what they tell you to do. You're sharing a video that you like, that you appreciate, and they give you the share option and they tell you to share it around and you do it, and then they take your ability to use your social media away. You know, that should make your brains melt out of your skulls. It does for me. Yeah, hippie chick, I want you guys to know something. I did an amazing show this morning. I promised you guys I was going to do it, and I did it. And I said, all you guys got to do is just share the show to Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk on Twitter. I'd really appreciate it. Do you know that only one person did it? Hippie Chick? None of you decided to share that to Kyle Kalinske? Just Hippie Chick. So, if you did share it to Kyle Kalinske, well, then you didn't add it at Crypto Cult 420, which you should do so I can see that you've done it. So the only person who thought to do that was Hippie Chick. It's really disappointing that nobody else did it. And I specifically, thank you, Doc. I specifically asked you guys, please share this to Kyle. It would be great, I said, if he would see this. So she will be getting a couple of these in the mail, of course. She'll be getting her triage oil. One of my favorite things. And nobody else will, because nobody else shared it. You were driving earlier? Oh, that's cool, Eddie. You could have come back and done it later. You could have remembered it, come back and done it later, and then I would have sent you some too. Because I didn't care what time it was done. I just wanted it done before this show. Literally, she was the only one that shared it to Kyle Kalinske. So thank you, Hippie Chick. And for the rest of you, if you guys would just play ball with me, you might get something nice. Ask Steve Running, ask Randy Church. Ask the people that are kicking ass for me on Twitter. It's really no problem. There's not a lot of orders coming through. It's not a problem for me to ship you guys that oil when you guys do something that when you go out of your way for me, you click a fucking button on the goddamn internet. I don't mind spending $35 on you, getting in my car and driving to a fucking mailbox and dropping something in a mailbox for you. That's a lot more than just clicking a button on a social media platform. Oh, thank you, Nick. Oh, okay. To get a blob off the nectar collector, Steve. You're funny, Steve. So this is what he's got to do. He's got to heat himself up a dab and do it. That's what this guy's got to do at least. So Nick Brown, thank you for sharing this. Hey, Griffin, what's up? Hey, Griffin, do me a favor. Will you go on Twitter and share my last video about Kyle Kalinske at Kyle Kalinske on Twitter, like I wish the rest of you guys would do too, right now? I would love it if you guys would do that. I don't offer giveaways, but when I ask you to do something and you do it, you might get something nice from me. I'm not using that as a ploy to get you guys to follow me or to get you to do anything for me. I'm doing it because I appreciate it and because none of you will fucking do it. So I'm giving her a gift because she's the only one that did. And, you know, I might give out more gifts if you guys would consider clicking a fucking button for me and sending a video to Kyle Klinsky. Who knows? Maybe he'll even see my fucking video about him being an idiot that believes in UFOs because CNN told him it was real. You know, you guys should all watch that video. It's fantastic. I destroy Kyle Klinsky in that video this morning. You should all watch that. Cheers, guys. So, the video about Kyle Klinsky is whoa, Kyle got a video pulled from YouTube. Oh my God, we're going to have to watch that. I was going to watch the video that I put up. But hold on. Hold on, guys. This is all new. I was not planning on covering this at all.
I have to tell you guys, I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to say. I don't want to get anybody who I'm close to in trouble, but listen, this is all out there for you to see with your own two eyes. It's something that I realized and recognized, and so I'm going to talk about it because I think it's gross. So, as you all know, Crystal and Sagar...
So wait, let me just get this straight. So it's gross when it happens to you, but when it happens to me, you ignore it. Because, you know, I'm just a little guy, and you don't care about the little guy, do you? Oh, but now it's gross because it's happened to you. Well, tell us your sob story, Kyle. We all want to hear what happened to you. What happened to you? What did YouTube do to you since you've ignored me for the last, 8 years or so?
Left the Hill. They're going independent. In my opinion, that's where they should have been all along. I mean, they always had the ability and the talent. You know, when you start something under the wing of a company, it could feel like you have more security, but, you know,
oh, right on,
Griffin. To make it in this format. Crystal and Sagar
retweeted one of your tweets
in this format
about me.
So I'm very happy for them.
What was that tweet about Ron Paul, bro? What was that?
The Hill, which of course is the company where they did Rising, the corporation where they did their show Rising. The Hill YouTube channel pulled down Crystal and Sagar's farewell video after they left.
Cool.
So they only left it up for what, 2 days, 3 days, something like that, before they pulled it down. Now, I also happen to know that when Crystal and Sagar...
So the Hill pulled it down, not YouTube.
...planned their exit, everything was relatively amicable, you could say, but they had everything organized and structured and ready to go, and there was a lot of thought and dedication that went into making some of these decisions. So they had the title for their video all set and ready to go. They had, you know, the order ready to go. So in other words, their exit video would be the first video of the day for that show, and it would be premiered. And of course, when a video is premiered, and when it's the first video, typically that video does very well. So they had their title ready, they had the video ready to premiere, and then behind the scenes, somebody decided, let's change the title to something incredibly vague that has no reference whatsoever about how Crystal and Sagar made it. The title was like, you know, Today on Rising or some shit. And they removed it from a premiere. Now, if I'm not mistaken, most of the time, if not every time they do a show, the first video is premiered. So they removed the video from premiere, made it a regular video, changed the title to something incredibly vague and general to make it sound like Crystal and Sagar weren't leaving, but it gets even worse. There were moments where they turned the comments off. And there were other moments where they turned the likes and dislikes off.
How moments?
So, listen, I don't know the specifics in terms of behind the scenes at corporate media, at the Hill, but there was obviously some sort of tug of war going on. And this doesn't take a genius to figure out. All you had to do was
control of being silenced, of being shut down, and he doesn't like it because it happened to his friend, Crystal, and I don't like it either. But it's just funny how vocal he is when it hits so close to home. But I've been telling him that YouTube's been shutting me down for years, and he's never even so much as given me a nod, not even a wow, that sucks. Nothing. Never had time for that.
And now, 2 days later, 3 days later, they pulled down their farewell video. So in other words, now they're trying to make it so if you tune into Rising and you see other posts, you're like, okay, I don't know where Crystal and Sagar are. I guess they're just on vacation, taking a day off. Maybe they'll be back eventually. But I guess I should stay and watch the show. It's a very sleazy, underhanded attempt to try to dupe the audience into thinking that what just happened didn't really happen. But it gets even worse. It gets even worse. They cut a brand new promo video for the show after Crystal and Sagar left. Now understand, Rising is Crystal and Sagar's baby. They came up with the idea. If they're leaving the Hill, the right thing for the Hill to do is very simple.
Yes,
the right thing for the Hill to do is to give them, the send-off of royalty.
Let me just say this. If you approach a company with a show idea and you do the show and you don't write into the contract that, hey, man, if you fire us, we take the show with us. You give them your idea and you let them steal it from you, then you get what you deserve. I mean, that's just simple. That's just a simple contract. I'm not gonna go grab my motor grader, go to my neighbor's house, right? And then it breaks down on his property, and then him not allow me back on his property and say, no, I'm going to keep the motor grader because it's here now. It's mine. Right? That's exactly what they're doing to Crystal and Sagar. I didn't know that Rising was their idea. It makes sense that it was, but what doesn't make sense is why would you contract up with the Hill and offer them yourselves as a show and allow them to keep your idea but fire you? That's psychotic. Who writes a contract like that? I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I've been in the entertainment business for years, and that's just one thing that you don't ever do. You don't ever sign over the rights to your mental property, to your idea. You don't give your idea to somebody else. Not unless, hey, man, not unless you're not trying to make money off of it. And you want everybody to have that idea because it's a beautiful thing. That's fine. But they just took your idea now, and now they're putting other people on there and calling it the same show. Oh, Rising, different people with different opinions, hashing it out. Wow, man. It's just, you're just like, wow, Crystal. Crystal, wow? You gave Rising to the Hill? You gave it to them? I mean, did they pay you for it?
Guilty. Hey guys, we love you. Just so you know, you're irreplaceable. You built this amazing thing, this amazing show on this channel and made it what it is. It's never going to be the same without you. Here's a cake. We're going to miss you. And you know what? We're gonna change the branding of the channel away from Rising with Crystal and Sagar. We're not gonna have Rising anymore. We're gonna change the name of the show and have a new show. Because we can't replicate what you guys did. You guys are unique.
Right.
You're special. You're your own thing.
Right.
Nobody can fill your shoes.
Right.
It's not possible.
It's their intellectual property.
Instead, like I said, they tried to bury the fact that they left, change the title on the video, change it from a premiere to a regular video, trying to say like, hey, Nick, don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere, audience. Don't go anywhere. Don't be mad. We're
Hippie
one of
chick.
the top
Cheers.
news shows on YouTube, and that's never going to change. Never going to change. It was Crystal and Sagar who made it the #1 show on YouTube. Now they're not there. What do you mean that's never going to change? By the way, in the promo, they put a lot of people in the video who definitely don't want to be in that video. They put Shoe on Head, for example. They put Matt Taibbi. They put a number of anti-establishment voices in the promo as if those people signed off on the fact that, yeah, Crystal and Sagar are leaving, but I want you to stick around and watch whatever the fuck else is going to, take the time slot at the Hill. Go talk to them. My guess is they wouldn't have that opinion. And by the way, they also threw in clowns like Madison Cawthorn in the video, which goes to show you that whoever's behind the scenes making the decisions now has no idea what the essence of the show Rising was. If you're putting Madison Cawthorn in the same video as Matt Taibbi and Shoe on Head, so yeah, anti-establishment, you're not getting the gist of the show. You don't even understand the basics of the show. You don't get the framework of it. So, listen, that's a sleazy, underhanded thing. Soon, right after they leave, you cut a promo for the new show, which is the same label. That's gross. Now, I'm in a position, since Crystal and Sagar are out at the Hill, I'm in a position to tell you guys my experience in dealing with corporate media behind the scenes. So Crystal and I, of course, we started the podcast, Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. And, the idea behind it is very straightforward and very simple. I respect Crystal as an interviewer. I think she's phenomenal at it. I also respect the fact that she seemingly has created this lane for herself where she has one foot in the new media world and one foot in the official world, which sort of gives her access to a lot of very big name people in terms of interviewing. And so we got together. We decided to do a show. And, in many ways, it's a match made in heaven. And
whatever, dude. She's married.
But there were pressures behind the scenes that you guys didn't know about. So Crystal had gotten permission to do Crystal, Kyle, and Friends, and we had gotten permission to put the podcasts on YouTube. And any of you who are paid subs to our Substack, you pay $5 a month and you get the video on YouTube a day early. Everybody else gets access to the free audio a day later. But the first, was it the first or the first 2 or 3 or something, Crystal, Kyle, and Friends podcast were free videos on YouTube. Well, even though Crystal had gotten permission to put it on YouTube, immediately after our premiere, the episode with Marianne Williamson, which did phenomenally well, by the way. I haven't checked it in right now. It's got over 300,000 views on that video. We were told that if we put the second episode on YouTube, there could be litigation. There was a lawsuit threatened. After Crystal had already gotten permission to put our show on YouTube, whoever's one of the higher-ups there took a look at the fact that we had a gigantic launch with over 300,000 views. And they did an about-face and said, if you put that second video up there, there could be litigation. They might sue you. Now understand something. This is after I told an audience of hundreds of thousands of people who watched that inaugural episode. This is how it's going to work. Pay through the Substack, $5 a month. You get every video on YouTube. And then for people who don't pay, you get the audio version for free on any podcast platform. And you don't have to pay anything. It's just available. So after I told hundreds of thousands of people this is how it's going to work, there's a lawsuit threatened.
What?
If you put that second one up, we might come after you.
What?
Well, of course, panic sets in. And, everybody's losing their mind. And I'm a man of my word. I told you guys it's going on YouTube. So guess what? It's going on YouTube. I'm not going to let some
good for you, Kyle.
Nameless, faceless corporate douchebag
good for you, Kyle.
determine what happens on my channel.
Fuck
but
yeah.
I've never even had a conversation with any of the higher-ups at the Hill.
Fuck yeah.
Why would I let them control what I do? Now, does that put Crystal in a weird situation? Of course it does. But I'm the one who's making the decision. It's not Crystal. What are you going to do? Can't sue me. I'm not in any sort of contract with you. And if you go after her, it's not going to work because she didn't make the decision. I'm making the decision.
See, I think the problem here is, did he say who's funding Crystal, Kyle, and Friends? Now, let me say this. so John Kitten can be caught up with us. Kyle Kalinski's talking about the fact that The Hill basically fired Crystal Ball from Rising and stole the show idea and then deleted the farewell video and is using her idea, their idea, hers and Sagar's idea, to continue the show. And now Kyle and Crystal put together this new show, and I'm assuming it's being funded by The Hill. I don't know who he's referring to. The money is coming from. Did we miss that part, guys?
So anyway, there was basically a standoff, and at the last minute, the higher-ups at The Hill backed down.
Okay, there you go. It's wow. So he's getting paid by The Hill to do that show? Okay, I didn't know that. That changes a lot. Because now he's getting really close to becoming mainstream media.
I guess they knew that we weren't going to fold, and so we posted it, and nobody knew about any of that stuff behind the scenes. It was a very tense moment. It was a very, very tense moment.
And let me tell you something. Whether or not the argument here is if The Hill is going to allow them to put up a second copy of this show on a certain platform, doesn't really get into whether or not The Hill has a say in his content on his channel. And are they compensating him now for Kyle Kalinski's show as well?
And obviously it was incredibly tumultuous for everybody involved. But definitely the most think is the worst part yet. So again, Crystal and I get together, decide we're going to do this podcast. We're really excited for it. The format of the podcast is incredibly ambitious, the way we went about structuring it. Here's why. Guys, we know, Crystal and I know, the amount of money that people with similar public profiles make when they do their podcasts. And the bottom line is this. If we were to accept advertisers, we would get paid, son. We would get paid. And there's a variety of ways you can do advertisements. You could do the read-off advertisements, or you could do the traditional YouTube advertisements, which in my opinion are nowhere near as bad as the reading advertisements, because the YouTube advertisements, there's a buffer between you and the advertiser. So in other words, Google has a marketing team that deals with the advertisers, and I never have to talk to an advertiser ever. So I really don't have a problem in principle with the YouTube ads because I never have to talk to any of the advertisers, so there's no conflict of interest. I don't feel beholden to anybody on that front. But we decided, when it comes to Crystal Kyle and Friends, we're going to be unique. And we said, let's go all in on this idea of small dollar donations and small dollar subscribers. So not only did we forego YouTube advertisements, which again, I don't have a problem with in principle, but we did forego YouTube advertisements. We also decided we're going to forego all ads. So in other words, the only way that you guys, like it enough people, think it's worth $5 a month to see the video of our podcasts. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. We're making probably 25% of what we could make when it comes to the money with this podcast. But you know what? We made that decision. We don't care. We don't care because we believe in something above and beyond.
I wonder how much money Kyle is making on his YouTube channel, and I wonder how Crystal made.
Saying, hey, we believe in you guys, and so we'll pay the $5 for the video because, you know, this is how you decided to fund it in a more pure way. Well, guess what? After we already made that decision, what happened? Crystal was told after the fact, oh, by the way, you're not even allowed to acknowledge the existence of Crystal Kyle and Friends, your other podcast, when you're doing the show Rising on the Hill.
So stupid.
We made the decision to take $0.00 in ad money, and then more than half
Thank you.
of our potential reach
Thank you, Griffin.
is cut out. So understand, I don't know how many YouTube subs I had when we launched Crystal Kyle and Friends, 900,000, something like that. The Hill is in front of me. They have over 1 million subscribers, and I think they had more subscribers at the time that we launched. And only I'm allowed to talk to my audience to try to subscribe to Crystal Kyler. She's not.
I love that Kyle has come on his channel on YouTube and revealed all of this because he's got 1 million fucking subscribers. He's got, it says 965,000 subscribers. You know, if YouTube wasn't deleting subscribers from him every day, he'd be way past 1 million a long time ago. So that's some bullshit right there. He probably doesn't even know about that.
Not even allowed to acknowledge its existence.
Hey, Kyle, every day. I'd like to ask, does YouTube delete from your channel every day? What's the number? How many subscribers does YouTube delete from your channel every day? Because they're deleting hundreds from mine every month. I could just imagine how many they're probably deleting thousands from you every day. Do you know that? Let's talk about that, Kyle. Let's have a convo, mob bro. What do you say? Maybe we'll do some dabs and discussion, son. Kyle's keeping it fucking real, man. You know, the best way he knows how. He just needs a little guidance, man. He needs a mentor in his life.
So basically, the higher-ups in corporate media broke one of our legs. Higher-ups are.
Oh,
I was banned from Rising.
What?